Europeans leaving Niger after warning of war. Hundreds of citizens of European countries, including France, have started leaving the West African country of Niger. France began evacuating its citizens, including Europeans, mainly after Niger's neighboring countries warned of war. Besides, more than 2,500 Europeans have already arrived in Paris, the capital of France. This information was reported by the news agency Reuters and the BBC in two separate reports on Wednesday, 2nd August. France began evacuating hundreds of French and European citizens from Niger on Tuesday, Reuters reported. The evacuation began after neighboring Mali and Burkina Faso declared that any outside intervention to restore Niger's ousted government would be seen as a declaration of war. Earlier last week, Niger's army overthrew President Mohamed Bazoum and his government in a military coup. Mohamed Bazoum was the democratically elected president of this West African country. On the other hand, the BBC reported that France has begun evacuating its citizens from Niger amid anti-French sentiment following last week's military coup. France sent 3 planes to the country to evacuate citizens amid rising tensions, and one of the planes has already landed 262 Europeans in Paris. The military coup sparked protests against Niger's former colonial power. Even the French embassy has come under attack. French troops are already stationed in the country, and France has said it has no plans to repatriate about 1,000 French troops stationed there as part of efforts to counter the militants. Germany has also urged its citizens to accept France's offer, and Italy has also sent flights to evacuate its citizens. The situation comes after juntas in Burkina Faso and Mali warned that any forceful attempt to restore the president ousted in a coup would be seen as a declaration of war, the media said. Niger's 2 neighboring states are also former French colonies, and both have turned from France to Russia in recent years following their own military coups. Besides, the threat of war to try to restore the ousted government is being taken seriously, as any such scenario could add to the instability in the region, which is struggling with militant insurgency. Originally rich in uranium, Niger is known as an important Western ally in the fight against jihadist extremism in Africa's Sahel region. Both France and the United States have military bases there. Niger is also an important partner of the European Union in stemming the flow of migrants from sub-Saharan Africa. A small number of EU troops are also deployed in Niger for military training missions. Earlier, France suspended all development aid and budget support to Niger. Originally from Western Europe, the country moved its regional military headquarters to Niger in 2021 after it was previously forced to leave Mali. The BBC says that the attack on the French embassy in Niamey, the capital of Niger, took place last Sunday. Protesters outside the embassy chanted "Long live Russia, long live Putin and down with France." At one point they set fire to the walls of the embassy compound. The military announced the closure of Niger's airspace after the military coup. This makes it impossible for people to leave the country on their own. And so France sent planes to rescue citizens. There are approximately 600 French nationals in Niger and less than 100 German nationals. The Italian Foreign Ministry says the African country has about 90 Italians in the capital Niamey, most of whom are in the military, out of a total of 500 in the African country, AFP reported. According to Reuters, Spain is preparing to evacuate more than 70 Spanish citizens by air. The UK, on the other hand, has no immediate plans to evacuate its citizens and has urged its citizens in Niger to stay indoors. The European Union has also said it has no immediate plans to evacuate its staff. According to AFP, the US is also not planning to evacuate its citizens right away. The US also sees no immediate threat to US citizens or infrastructure. It is also reported that the situation was calm in the capital Niamey on Tuesday. Note that Niger is one of the poorest countries in the world. According to the World Bank, the country receives about $2 billion annually in grants as part of official development assistance. Niger is also the world's 7th largest uranium producer. Niger is even an important security partner of Western countries like France and the United States. Western countries have been using the country as a base to control Islamist insurgencies in the Sahel region of West and Central Africa. Niger was seen as one of the most stable countries, despite instability in several neighboring countries in the past. Niger's foreign allies have refused to recognize the new military government led by the head of the Presidential Guard, General Abdurrahman Takiani. He was declared the country's head of state last Friday. In addition, the European Union, France and other countries still recognize Mohammad Bazoum as the legitimate president. To get all kinds of news updates, subscribe the channel and click the bell icon next to it. And write your opinion about the news in the comment box.